Hey YouTube, it's your realtor Joe Justin here on Ford Joe's Buy It Joe. Back to bring you another quick video about comparing the 5.56 223 to the 6.8 millimeter or 6.8 SPC 1 or 2. There's not really a whole lot of difference anymore, but you basically need to find the SPTC 2. And I'll also throw a 308 in there or a 7.62 NATO. Um, so give you a quick comparison of them. I'm not really going to get into ballistics. If you look up the ballistics there, you'll see numbers in feet per second, and I'll give you a kind of what I know quick, and I could get more comprehensive in a later video if that's what you want. So if you look here, here's the 3 rounds. This is a 5.56 or 223, and here's your 6.8 SPC2, and this is a 308 or 7.62 NATO. The 7.62 NATO is a pretty big boy there. So the 5.56, what's great about it, or 223 for that matter? Most of your rounds are going to be shooting at 3,000 feet per second, so it's a pretty fast shooting round. Yes, the bullet is smaller, but at that same time, you've got so much feet per second. You're going to have a decent amount of knockdown power with this. I know guys that have taken deer with it. Obviously, our military uses it, so it's a very significant round. What's one of the major things that's great about it is, it's relatively light. You can carry a lot of ammunition in that shit hits the fan situation, or in that home defense situation. You can carry a lot of ammunition relatively lightly. Otherwise, if you compare the 7.62 or 308, it's quite a bit bigger than the 5.56. It's there's quite a bit bigger chunk of lead there. You know, compared to like the 5.56. This becomes a lot heavier. You're not going to be able to carry as much at range. You're going to be looking at more of a bullet drop. Yes, it will be less affected by wind and such, but like I said, you're going to be able to carry less ammunition. Now, on to the 6.8. This is a great round for deer hunting. It's not as big as the 308 once again. Another quick comparison here. As you can see, it's relatively close in diameter. It's not as quite as high of a grain though. It also is shooting close to the 3,000 feet per second. Most of them are around that 2,500 to 2,800 feet per second. So it's also another flat shooting round. So you're going to have less bullet drop, which equals easier target. You're going to be able to pretty much put your crosshairs on target as long as you've sighted it and put your round on target. If you're a capable shooter. Comparing the 5.56 and this against the 6.8, you can see it's a significant bigger round, but at the same time they're almost identical in length. So this is a fairly expensive round, but like I said, it's relatively about the same weight. It's a little bit heavier, so you could potentially carry just about as much of this as you could with the 223. Now, the downside is you've got a spine. You can use these rounds with the 5.56 magazines or the 223 magazines, but they don't work as well. That's what I've found. The specific magazines for these work quite a bit better. They don't try to hit. It's almost like you put these in a normal 5.56 magazine, and it's trying to pretty much blow the magazine apart just because it tried to break it at the seams more or less. So price wise, here's the 223. you 223 or 556, you're looking at, you know, current with their current prices, $10 a box. That's for a full metal jacket, 55 grain. Kind of depends on the manufacturer, but you're looking at about $10 a box. With the 6.8, it's less available at the moment, and this is obviously January 2014, so we're starting to see ammunition in stores again. It's quite a bit harder to find. There's generally only one manufacturer up on the shelf. If you do find it, it's about $1 a shell. So, you know, it's quite a bit harder to find at the moment, but they are popular, have been popular throughout the years for deer hunting and other types of hunting. So, hog hunters really like this round also. Also, the 7.62, it's another relatively 7.62 NATO or 7.62 by 51 or 308. It's a relatively expensive round also. So it all comes down to what you're going to use it for. If you want to run a rifle for self-defense and hunting, you know, both of these will do the job. The 223 or 556. A lot of guys argue it's too small of a round and it might not even be legal in your state. So know your local laws. The 6.8 is great. Like I said, I know guys that have taken deer with the 6.8, and I have personally also taken deer with the 6.8. Like I said, also with the 223, I know guys that have taken deer with that. Obviously, the 308 is more of a prime round for that and gives you more options for game. But like I said, you know, if you want to get in that AR platform and stay in that AR-15 area, then, you know, these would be two of your options. There's obviously other options also. I'll show you quick. This is the AR that I use for the 6.8 millimeter. As you can see, it pretty much, just by looking at it, you would just assume that it's your normal 5.56, but it is in fact your 6.8. Like I said, no special magazine well or anything like that. It's I still use this. I'll show you two 10-round magazines. If I put these side by side, would you be able to tell me which is for the 6.8 or 5.56? Probably not. This one is the 6.8 magazine. If you look here, these grooves are somewhat smaller or less indented. That gives it more room for the shells to fit in there because they're a little bit wider diameter. And this is the 5.56. As you can see, these grooves here that are almost identical to these ones here are not as deep, so are deeper than the ones on this magazine here. So you know, yes, you pay a little bit more money for more magazines for that rifle, but it beats having to pay for an AR-10, which we all know are relatively expensive. You've seen this in a couple of my videos. This is your regular 5.56. Pretty much identical. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two. So, thanks guys for watching. Ford Joe's Buy a Joe. If you go ahead and leave your comments down below, that way I can get back to you and you can leave me your thoughts and let me know what I can do better or what you'd like to see next. Thanks. Have a great day.